Yet another session of News Tonight Bulletin. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. First though, let's look at the headlines.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
And in our top stories tonight, President Museveni pledges to create funds for graduates and religious leaders. NRM's past National Vice Chairperson Kigongo commends ghetto youth Oshane criminality. Over 1,300 youth to attend the Afro-Arab Youth Congress. Uganda sends 100 riders to Kenya for the 2025 Jubilee Live Free Race.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Once again, thank you for hanging out with us. And now the news begins. President Yoweri Museveni, who is also the NRM presidential candidate, has pledged 2 new wealth creation funds targeting unemployed graduates and religious leaders. Speaking at a campaign rally in Apache district on Friday, Museveni emphasized that the fund will empower beneficiaries to start their own enterprises and contribute to Uganda's economy.
The NRM presidential candidate, President Yoweri Museveni, still continues with his vote hunt in Lango sub-region. On Friday, Mr. Museveni held mega rally in Apache and Kwania districts. The NRM presidential candidate says if he is voted, he will set aside funds for unemployed graduates and religious leaders.
I also want to start a fund for university graduates. If you are a university graduate and you have not got a job for 2 years, I want you to come to this fund here. And you borrow and you do your own things. I also want to start circles for the religious groups, the leaders. We, the ordinary Christians and Muslims, we are in the parish. But the reverend, the father, the sheikh, we shall create circles for them according to their dioceses.
Also unveiled is a comprehensive health facility upgrade and service for Apache district, from the parish level to sub-county up to the constituency level.
There is a health center for in Maruzi constituency with 2 doctors. But they don't have ambulance. We shall provide that ambulance.
The president urged the people to utilize the parish development model and other wealth creation programs to create wealth in their homes, since the necessary infrastructure like the roads, electricity and other services are now available.
I am appealing to Ugandans. Please use this PDM money to get yourselves out of poverty. Each year we have been sending 100 million per parish.
Museveni was accompanied by several senior NRM leaders, including Vice President Jessica Alupo, NRM Secretary General Richard Odong, second National Vice Chairperson female Anita Among, and Government Chief Whip Hamson Oboa. All of them echoed the call for Lango sub-region voters to support Museveni in the upcoming election.
The people of Lango, like all the people of Uganda, should vote for His Excellency the President because of the good programs which the President has implemented and is implementing in the country and here in Lango, including the most important, which is peace and security, the most important, which is human resource development, UPE and USE, and the most important, wealth creation, OWC, PDM.
We are very grateful because of the peace that you've created in Uganda. Now we have schools, we have hospitals, the place is generally peaceful. Ways of PDM, in the ways of your healthcare, in the ways of your education system, in the ways of the hygiene of your home, in the ways of the peace and security around your home.
District leaders in Apache also praised the president for the significant development realized under his leadership, citing improved infrastructure and service delivery.
The most important thing now, where we have all this, is the PDM.
I've already had part of the President's manifesto and they're planning to put skilling hubs in every district. What does this mean? Our youth who are maybe redundant, our youth who have not had opportunities, for example, in terms of going to school or something like that.
The NRM campaign trail will take a 2-day break before resuming on Monday, with President Museveni scheduled to hold rallies in Lira City and Kole districts. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Apache.
Well, thank you very much there, Philip Aguta. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has addressed his sixth campaign rally from Akwania district in Lango sub-region, where he has been received by thousands of NRM supporters. The Friday campaign rally has been held at Boma Grounds, and here the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni recommitted to thrive on the already secured peace in the country to protect the gains.
Akwania District Boma Grounds have been filled to capacity in the evening of Friday, 3rd October 2025 as thousands attended the NRM party's presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni's campaign rally. Since the first day, President Museveni's advance team in Lango sub-region has been led by the second National Vice Chairperson, also Speaker of Parliament Anita Among.
He's saying the only solution to Uganda is President Museveni.
Anita is leading a team of ministers and members of parliament.
Thank you so much. We shall work with you in whatever programs come for the government. We will be here to support Kwania. I am here to join you to support NRM.
Upon the president's arrival, religious leaders blessed the campaign trail.
Lord, we thank you for the good things our president have done in the past, but most of all, Lord, for the new things and innovations that are now going on.
Your Excellency, I will be inviting the party chairman of the district to give us a brief report for the district.
I must inform you that in the previous elections, we happened to give 67%, and I must thank the people of Kwania.
Alex Ogwal, the Kwania district Uganda People's Congress chairperson, was among the day's campaign agents of President Museveni.
I thank you for all the service that you have given us as people of Kwania, and because of the good service that you have done for the country and for the people of Kwania specifically, I offer my support for you this time. All leaders and members of NRM in northern Uganda, today we bring to you our own son, Mzee Wakazi, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
The people of Kwania, your vote counts. We want now to welcome you, Your Excellency, to come and speak to your people.
Addressing the area which has suffered from insecurity arising from poor governance, Mr. Museveni emphasized the need for pro-people government.
We have been able to build peace in Uganda because of the other principles of unity. The army is not tribal. It is not of one religion. That's why you see when we are recruiting, we go to every district, and every district has got a quota of people to bring into the recruitment.
The continued influx of refugees into Uganda from neighboring countries is one of the dividends of stability.
And that's why refugees are coming from all over around us, and we have got 1.9 million refugees now. Ugandans used to be refugees, but now we are receiving refugees.
The 2026-2031 campaign trail for President Museveni has prioritized wealth creation and service delivery above everything else.
So therefore, the story of the NRM with Uganda, with Africa, is a long one. And I have come here with the delegation of the NRM leaders, the Vice Chairperson, Secretary General, SEC members, to appeal to you to clear Mabel for NRM. Clear Abel for the old man with the heart, so that we continue with this work and do more.
Kwania district has 11 sub-counties, 49 parishes and 447 villages. In a MEOGA program, there have been 36 circles created, with a total of 447 members in each group, and their beneficiaries are close to 10,656. As of today, shillings 1.16 billion has been invested by government in these circles as a seed capital. In education, Kwania district has 29 government primary schools scattered in all the 11 sub-counties. When it comes to secondary education, there are 7 government secondary schools in Kwania district, with all of them providing universal secondary education. At secondary, the enrollment stands at 4,031 students per now. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kwania district.
The first National Vice Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, has commended the ghetto youth in Busoga sub-region for shunning opposition politicians with selfish interests. He said some selfish opposition politicians wanted to use the youth to commit crime, especially in this election period, but the youth shunned them. Alhaji Chigongo made the remarks today while meeting ghetto youth leaders at Mafubira Jinja City North Division.
Sotwebaza obuyambi n'ebyaidye n'obyakwongera okwekulaakulanya. Ndikusaba ndikusuubiza nga walandiri ba komandazi bano nze bampuliriza kwetaidya olima asana akalulu sobola n'oyo muzeeyi nasobola asana akalulu sobola n'oyo muzeeyi nasobola asana akalulu Uganda, musaza wa mazima eriso ly'omutuufu aw'olugala awalyabamala era tumuzireku nanjera nasobola Uganda oli omuzeeyi nasobola sadaka omusajja eyo muliwa ebikola mukama mutanda omuzayutu nasobola n'oli omuzeeyi nasobola sama owekitiibwa Ssebukatebe baludere emezi y'omukulu bamama ne bamama zoloti omuzeeyi kuleeta n'enduga baisina betuli basimwino abangera abatuusa kyekalyokosenonyene ababisi kiganira abewo.
The Chairperson Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, Patricia Lukoma, has pledged continuous support and partnership towards linking Uganda agribusiness entrepreneurs in the country. He was speaking at a groundbreaking ceremony of the Arise Collections Leadership and Skilling Center in Mukono.
The Arise Collections Leadership and Skilling Center in Nachifuma, Mukono, is a multi-sector hub designed to empower Uganda's women and youth through hands-on training, ethical enterprise, and leaders development. The site has 15 acres under commercial agriculture with 5 acres of plantain, locally known as Konja, showcasing regenerative farming, value addition, and agri-entrepreneurship.
So coming here for us at Uganda Agribusiness Alliance is to do the due diligence that there is land, there is cocoa growing taking place, and also Uganda Agribusiness Alliance is now more interested in ensuring that all our members and agribusiness entrepreneurs are complying with national and international standards per value chain, because that gives us competitiveness in the international market.
Happy that there is going to be expansion within the communities. The farmers are going to be supported with even a bulking center here at the Arise Collection Center, and this is going to be very much needed, especially for linkages to markets.
During his visit to this place, the Chairperson, Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, Patricia Lukoma, commended agri-entrepreneurs in Uganda and pledged total support to expand market opportunities in the United States and Europe.
You don't manufacture equipment. You need chemicals for pests. So, in the process, you do 2, you get 1. You do 2, you get 1. And what's shocking to me is that many of our elite, many of our public service people don't really think this is a big issue. They don't think about it in a much more deeper way.
Professor Goodla Basaza from the Arise Collection said that the launch of this center aimed at promoting agro-industrialization and facilitating export-ready production.
Nachifuma has 47%. So it has a very big number of young people who have nothing to do. But the question is, who wants to invest in someone who has nothing to offer to the market? We are here sending a message: if you have what to send to the market, you will be rewarded.
The founder of Arise Collections, Agnes Chitumba, appealed to Ugandan entrepreneurs to embrace partnerships as a key to linking producers with buyers.
I would quote from the Bible. The Bible says that we are one body, but different parts. Some are going to plant, others are going to weed, others are going to plow, some are going to harvest. So for me, partnerships are key if we are to go further in each and everything that we do.
The facility will also incubate community-led micro-enterprises through access to tools, mentorship, and markets in Nachifuma Mukono district. Rebecca Nantongo for UBC News.
Well, thank you very much there, Rebecca. Now, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development has launched a training program for artisanal miners focusing on mineral trade regulations and the upcoming establishment of mineral markets and buyer centers.
Thank you so much, Lynn.
The training comes in line with the implementation of the Minerals Act 2022, which provides a legal framework for the creation of organized mineral markets and designated buying centers.
Particularly these mineral markets will be looking at high value commodities. That's why we are very specific on that. It does not apply to other minerals like industrial minerals. Our beginning point is gold, tin and gemstones.
The State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamtoro, noted that formalizing the mineral trade will boost transparency, accountability and safeguard artisanal miners from exploitation. The move is also intended to curb fraud and eliminate scammers from the minerals sector.
With government regulating, then comes with certainty in pricing, then comes with confidence for investors to know exactly where they can acquire the minerals that are legit without any fears of being scammed or without any fears of being overpriced.
Minerals are processed to the required purity level before it is exported out of the country, and this export will only happen through the mineral market.
The ministry says the establishment of structured mineral markets is to standardize mineral quality, enhance extraction practices, and put in place an effective licensing system. 5 pilot centers have been earmarked for the initial phase.
Right there, there'll be clear structures for pricing, there'll be clear structures for testing of purity, of grade, and so on, which are very important when it comes to deciding how much money a person will receive per mineral.
Licenses for beneficiation, those are the mineral processing license, mineral refining license, mineral smelting license. So all the beneficiation licenses and mineral dealers shall dispose of minerals in the market and buying center. So
these reforms follow a presidential executive order banning the export of unprocessed minerals, and as a result, the ministry is working closely with stakeholders to develop proper extraction methods and market frameworks aimed at boosting value addition in the minerals sector. Abdul Nasser Lubwama for UBC.
Now, Health Service Commission has called for stronger interministerial collaboration, improved work conditions for health workers, and better management of human resources in the health sector. Let's hear more from Kai.
The workshop tackled health service challenges, honored frontline workers, and planned solutions for staffing, infrastructure, and governance.
Health needs Ministry of Finance. We need you so much. We need the Ministry of the Public Service. We need the Ministry of Education. We need all the ministries to understand the dynamics the Health Service Commission goes through.
Uganda Virus Research Institute, Uganda Blood Transfusion Services, Natural Chemotherapeutics Research Institute, Mulago, Kawempe, and Butabika National Referral Hospitals were praised for their key roles.
I really feel bad for those directors who have not come to encounter with us, because this has been a special gathering and meeting, first in its kind, to meet you, because we have been longing to have this. Though others we met you in one-to-one and a closer perspective when we came to your institutions, we are still moving.
Uganda Prison Service was praised for vital health services to inmates and communities, boosting national health. The Commission said progress needs motivated, supported, and available health workers, not just modern equipment.
So that's why I'm calling upon all other sectors around and ministries to embrace us and support us to handle this big animal called human resource. And when this human resource element is not put right in terms of infrastructure, good working environment, given those remunerations, once it is not settled, I'm calling it because it is an animal, all other resources will not work.
Hospital directors vow to cut absenteeism by 80% in 6 months' time with better monitoring,
which may include staffing gaps, workplace conditions, and health work welfare. but also the system we are using for monitoring attendance to duty. I know some referrals up to date which are still manual. So we are pledging that all the referral hospitals which are still manual go digital.
Health Service Commission will provide ICT equipment to regional hospitals starting October 7th, 2025.
To enable health workers from the regions to utilize the ERS equipment to submit applications and enlist in the Health Service Commission Health Workforce database. Objective number 4 is to create an environment that will enable Health Service Commission to conduct aptitude tests and oral interviews remotely.
The package includes computers, internet and tools for digital recruitment and interviews. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now over to Mpigi. Heavy rains have left a trail of destruction in Kisumali village, Medina sub-county in Mpigi district, destroying homes, crops and school facilities and leaving several families stranded.
The downpour started Thursday at around 1 p.m. and lasted for close to 3 hours. By the time it stopped, homes had collapsed, power lines were damaged and fields were flattened. Residents spent the night in the cold after their houses were reduced to rubble and their property destroyed. Television sets, household furniture and large sections of crop fields including bananas, cassava, maize and beans were damaged. Many families are now left with nothing. One of the worst hit residents, Mogalula, lost his entire house. When our crew arrived, neighbors had gathered to help him rebuild. His wife narrowly survived after the house collapsed while she was inside, managing to escape just in time. In the fields, the destruction was widespread. Strong winds and hailstorms tore through plantations. Banana stems were stripped bare, cassava plantations uprooted, and sweet potato gardens were left resembling a football pitch after a match. At Springfield Primary School, part of the girls' latrine block collapsed during the storm. Teachers were already making temporary repairs when we arrived. Fortunately, no pupils were injured. Mutasa expressed relief that no child was hurt, but said urgent repairs are needed to restore safe facilities. The area councillor for Muduma sub-county, Francis Sendiowa, visited the affected communities to assess the damage. He called for swift intervention to support families that lost homes and food supplies.
District team ya environment muzimu mount of banembera mbinyo kuli mutali nayo byanga so tuwa obayambi b'emmere emmere yafudde atonya balina kufenjala ayine emmere ayina kawunga ayina omuceere ayina ebbata ayina block ayina omusenyi wa cement bane mutukere mwena mujibiyambe.
This is not the first time Kisamla has suffered such devastation. Last year, heavy rains destroyed schools, homes and gardens in similar fashion. Residents are once appealing for urgent support to help them recover.
Abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono okusimba nnyiriri mpanvu tukalipagano ka bidduka sobola kufunga na banka siripusi kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ey'omungalo ekikola kyangumu wigabanyiriza star 165 star 8 ogoberera ebikulagiridwa obukozesa apu ya MTN ate kati okola ky'olwaleero MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited evunaanyizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda. Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us, and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey, in the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth, in the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the power of Africa.
The Afro-Arab Youth Council, in partnership with the Government of Uganda, proudly presents the Afro-Arab Youth Congress 2025, happening from 7th to 10th October 2025 at Speak Resort Munyonyo under the theme Amplifying Youth Voices for Peace, Unity and Prosperity. Join over 1,000 delegates from across Africa and the Arab world in this exhilarating event. The guest of honor is the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, alongside other heads of states from our Arab and African member countries. The guest speaker will be the Afro-Arab Youth Council President, His Excellency Abdul Hadi Lahwej.
Get the new Kabode Super Smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back from that short break. As we continue with our next segment, the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, in partnership with KCCA and other government agencies, have confiscated over 600 items belonging to one Salongo Paul Siriange in Kayanja Triangle Zone, Ndeba Lubaga Division, Kampala District.
The encroached land in question measures over 1 acre and contains various items, including over 600 diffs, containers, a police post, and a residential house. At exactly 11 a.m., NEMA's enforcement team alongside other stakeholders arrived at the scene and began confiscating the items. While at it, residents were shocked by what was happening.
Twandibadde tutegeezebwa kufe nga abakulembeze nti ensonga eziri awo zitambula bwezi nga ne tubeera up to date.
Our concern is the citizens, the way they are going to be left.
NEMA's Senior Public Relations Officer, William Lubolwa, explained that the owner had been warned beforehand but refused to comply.
We are saying that let this kind of business leave the wetland, let this kind of business leave this place. And today we have confiscated these units. They are in our hands and we expect to take the encroacher to the courts of law.
Emmanuel Busobozi, the Principal Environment Officer at NEMA, stressed that the operation's goal is to restore Kabaka's Lake which has long been degraded by encroachers.
Unique about this place, according to the data, it is a wetland. But unfortunately, it has been modified through anthropogenic or human activity. And as you can see, it is full of maram. Maram is dry soil which is gathered from somewhere and deposited here to suppress the ecological conditions of this place. So, as a government agency responsible for managing all the affairs of the environment, it's upon us to ensure that this place is restored.
Meanwhile, some residents allege that Pastor Kayanja of Miracle Center Cathedral could be behind the exercise, but NEMA dismissed the claims.
Actually, we had a meeting with Pastor Kayanja that he got consent from Mengo to Kayanja, which was really appalled. No single human being can bring government here, can bring Buganda government here, can bring the ministry here, can bring all these authorities, cases here, to restore this place, to ask people to live. It's not true that government is being pushed by an individual to rectify issues that are happening here.
UBC TV's efforts to have a word with the owner of the items were futile. Rebecca Nantongo for UBC News.
Now, civil society organizations operating in Karamoja sub-region want government to increase budgetary allocation to health, education, governance and accountability and the equity sectors in order to unlock the potential of women and girls in the country.
Civil society organizations in Karamoja sub-region have highlighted alarming statistics, with poverty levels standing at 74.2%, maternal mortality 50% above the national average, and over 60% of primary schools lacking teachers' accommodation, leading to absenteeism and high school dropouts. This was at a press conference held in Moroto municipality.
Karamoja receives less than 17% less per capita budget allocation than the national average, and only 19% of its district budgets are directed to development spending.
Karamoja has the highest number of unupgraded health center tools. In Uganda, forcing expectant mothers to travel long distances for deliveries.
Especially for the youth, the women, most of the governance
Currently, half of the learners in Karamoja fail to complete primary 7.
Schools remain unemployed, preventing them from receiving government funding support. Dropouts are among the highest in Uganda, with more than 50% of the learners leaving school before completing primary 7.
Organizations such as Karamoja Women Umbrella Organization and Restless Development Uganda urged government to use the ongoing national and district budget preparations for the 2026-2027 financial year to prioritize education, health and youth and women empowerment.
Demand that increase and ring-fenced family for gender-based violence prevention, maternal health and women's livelihood support.
Our daily demands to government and parliament to prioritize Karamoja in the financial year 2026-2027 budget.
Also demanded stronger accountability mechanisms, gender-responsive budgeting, more extension workers, funding for livestock water facilities, support for women and youth-led green enterprises, and improved road networks across the region.
Now, looking at media, the Uganda Media Women's Association, UMWA, has officially launched the Gender Media Awards 2025 aiming to recognize journalists who report on gender-based violence, sexual reproductive health rights, and refugee rights with accuracy and compassion.
Media is a reflection of society, and when journalists choose to report with sensitivity and courage, they change lives. By launching these awards, UMA is sending a clear message: gender-sensitive reporting matters. Reporting that is free of stereotypes, reporting that gives the guilt of survivors, reporting that highlights solutions, and reporting that asks the hard questions. The ceremony is therefore not just about celebration, but about building a movement of responsible journalism that puts human dignity, equality, and justice as at the forefront. Together, we can build a society where the media amplifies the voices of the marginalized, challenges harmful stereotypes, and contributes meaningfully to gender equality and social justice.
Uganda is set to host the first Afro-Arab Youth Congress slated for 7th to 10th of October 2025. The meeting will feature dialogues on mental health and artificial intelligence, as well as mentorship sessions with the aim of empowering young people with skills and opportunities that they need in order to lead with integrity and innovation.
This is the first of its kind and stands as a powerful platform where youth and young people of Africa and the Arab world will come together to share ideas, celebrate their culture and their cultural diversity, and chart a common vision for peace, unity, development, and sustainable progress. Today's youth are the cornerstone of our shared future, and their creativity, energy, and vision are essential for building resilient societies and fostering prosperity across nations. By convening this Congress, which will run from 7th to 10th October at Munonyo, we reaffirm our collective commitment to empowering young people with the skills, networks, and opportunities they need to lead with integrity, innovation, and courage. When the young people stay together, they can build peace, they can understand each other, they can tolerate each other, they can learn how to move together, even with their diversities, such that they can be able to build peace for the future.
Now, Alliance Francaise Kampala launched a month-long program titled Ethics of Learning, Strengthening the Discourse of Reinstitution in Uganda. The program aims at involving Ugandan communities in conversations around ethical written and management of cultural heritage and how it can play an influential role in broader international debate on cultural reinstitution.
Ethics of learning, strengthening the discourse on restitution in Uganda. Wow. So over the next month, we'll be embarked on a journey of dialogue, inquiry, and collective reflection that invites us to look beyond the objects and collections to the very heart of what cultural heritage means for all of us.
Also to pick the angle of the ethics of loaning, because the objects were loaned to Uganda, and it's one of the few countries that has actually received objects on loan, and they have actually come after all that bureaucratic process. I think within East Africa, Uganda is probably the only one, maybe Ethiopia also, that has had this long-term loan agreements. So we wanted to look at what does it actually mean to have objects here on loan.
Said it takes time, and you have asked like how are we going to create impact and move this further. We are just hoping that let's first start here, and then hopefully some people can also join the conversation so that it reaches a point where it's as vibrant as the communities in like West Africa where they are really intentional about, okay, where is our cultural heritage and what are we going to do about getting it back?
It's about that. It's about how we deal with these new narratives, what we call traveled presence, as these particular objects move from different museums with different texts, with different narratives. Do we take our own narrative, the original traditional narrative, or we look at the already existing narrative and evolve the narrative to what we think? And the other question is, when they go back, do they go back with this particular borrowed or traveled narrative that they pick from Uganda back to Europe?
Ebiseera by'okusaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Ono okusimba ennyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Sobola kufunga na banka siripusi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omungalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Ngawunyi *665*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa ng'okozesa app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited eruŋŋanyizibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda. When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Angora's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Angora City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover an exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Angora Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Angora City. Don't wait, visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Time for business. Now, Post Bank, Uganda, soon to become Power Bank, has secured a 13-year strategic partnership with agents from KSD Development, from KS's Public Development Bank to boost agricultural financing in the country. Let's see more in this report.
At the signing held at the bank's Messina branch, AFD committed 15 million euros, about 60 billion. About 60 billion.
Impact on the livelihoods of people in the rural areas. It's about farmers, access for farmers, small farmers to financing, access to land, access to financial resources, and also access to facilitate the resilience of the agriculture of Uganda towards climate change.
It is particularly significant for us, this partnership, because we wanted to have a partner that is able to reach out in all the country to farmers, smallholder farmers, to sappers, women entrepreneurs, to youth entrepreneurs.
Bank Managing Director Julius Kaketo said the partnership underscores Post Bank's role in Uganda's agriculture transformation, adding that it will expand climate-smart agriculture financing and deepen financial inclusion in rural communities. French ambassador Leroy described the partnership as an investment in Uganda's farmers and rural entrepreneurs, while AFD country director Mark said it would help agribusiness adapt to the realities of climate change.
We'd like today to see the World Bank committed to reduce the impact of climate change and support agri-smart technology, and farmers who committed in fact to reduce the impact of the production on the environment.
For France and French Development Agency, it is particularly important because we want to be the partner of Uganda growth.
This partnership comes on the back of Postbank's recent Sustainability Award from the European Organization of Sustainable Development, further cementing its position as a key driver of inclusive agriculture lending. Sandra Kahonde, ABC News Tonight.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UCUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UCSAF, and we are happy that UCSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What do we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
And into the world of sports, Jubilee Insurance has flagged off a team of 100 Ugandan cyclists set to take place in the 2025 Jubilee Live Free Race powered by the Grand Nairobi Bike Race. The annual cycling extravaganza takes place this Sunday, October 5th at Nairobi's Nyayo Stadium, attracting over 3,500 riders from more than 20 countries worldwide.
Now in its fourth year under Jubilee sponsorship, the event goes beyond sport. Speaking at the flag-off in Kampala, Jubilee Life Insurance highlighted the power of sport in inspiring positive behavior.
Flag-off our participants who will be moving today to Nairobi for the race. So we have our Jubilee holding that has participated very greatly. We have contributed over 563 million to this race, and this money is intended to support the disabled children who are amputated, plus also build towers for food in various schools.
Uganda's team will compete in categories ranging from the 75-kilometer main race and team race to the 45-kilometer Black Mamba and paracycling race, plus fun rides for families and children. This marks the third year Uganda is represented at the race, with teams consistently delivering podium finishes.
Aside, why do we then partner with cycling? Because cycling has a momentum of happiness, lifestyle, and with the discipline that it comes with, consistency, with being disciplined, it matches with the way we present our products, because they also need a financial growth that has discipline and consistency.
The Jubilee Life Free Race promises a celebration of health, wellness and community.
Well, that's it from us. Thank you once again for hanging out with us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. A very good night to you, our dear viewer.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
exercise